Hello, this is Kate from Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast reading. So for this week's reading, I am going to be working with the Modern Love Tarot by Ethony. All right, so I'm going to draw 3 cards. Each card represents a portion of the upcoming week. Some of these cards are reversed, so it'll be interesting to see if any of them show up in the reading. My intention, as always, is to get an overview of the energies, opportunities for the week ahead. All right, so before I dive in, I just want to let you know that I am a part of something called Tarot Summer School this year. So Tarot Summer School is 12 teachers, 12 online tarot courses. It runs all summer long. Each week a new course is released. You can get a season's pass or pick and choose what courses interest you. I'm going to put the link below. I have a course called Tarot Reading for Rebels that I'm super excited about. So yeah, check it out. I'll put the link below and let's dive into the reading. So we have a reversal to kick things off. So we have the King of Cups reversed. Now this is interesting to me because last week we had King of Pentacles reversed. So we have another king upside down. Interesting. Okay. So let's look at the King of Cups upright first. So to me, an upright King of Cups, he's very emotionally mature. He knows how to deal with his emotions, but he's also very good at holding a space for others. I think of him as being kind of a counselor type. He's that older male figure who you just want to confide in. Someone who's going to be non-judgmental. He has a good ear. He might give you some good advice, but someone that you feel totally at ease with. Someone that you can share your troubles with, and you know he's not going to judge you. Now, upside down is a different story. So upside down may indicate maybe having trouble locating a person like this in your life right now, like really needing a solid figure that you can talk to who will understand, or at least kind of, loan an empathetic ear to you, and really struggling to find that. So that's what I get here. You might struggle to find someone in your life who can just hold space for you in a really non-judgmental way. What you might find instead is a lot of people that want to give you advice or tell you what to do, or people who just are overwhelmed with their own crap that's going on, and they just don't have the capacity to sit with you and listen to your crap, essentially. So that might be a little bit of a struggle. Another thing I get with this card is you may be struggling to master your emotions this week. So maybe in the past, certain things have helped you, maybe meditation or journaling or something has helped you process strong emotions or sit with those emotions. And it might feel like those tried and true methods just aren't working this week. And so you may feel like you're kind of trying to get a handle on your emotions, on your feelings, and maybe struggling to. So that may be something that you might experience at the beginning of the week. But as you get into the week, we have 5 of Cups. Now, 5 of Cups is a card of grieving and allowing yourself to grieve what might have been, or what something that either came to an end, something that didn't work out the way that you'd hoped, and giving yourself that time and space to grieve that. Now, this is interesting because typically, and I think we see, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 5 cups here. Oftentimes, this card in other decks will show three cards or 3 cups that have been spilled, and then there'll be 2 upright cups. But we don't have any upright cups unless you count the one that she's holding in her hands. So let's see. Let's sit with this card for a moment. There's a certain sadness, a certain feeling of grief and mourning with this card. You know, we see that there's a casket here. Someone has passed away. There's a gravestone. She's in a graveyard. And of course, there's spilled wine. Always a tragedy when there's spilled wine. So there is an element of sadness, an element of tragedy, something coming to an end, something being cut short, and the grief that comes with that. That can be a symbol for a lot of things. The message I get from this card is don't gloss over your grief this week. If there's something you're mourning, if there's something you're grieving, it's better giving yourself a little time to grieve that thing and then moving on, rather than just trying to gloss over it and look on the bright side and steamroll forward. Like, that's not going to work if you try to do that. So Five of Cups is saying, be honest with yourself, give yourself that time, that space, give yourself that grace to grieve something if that feels good for you, if that resonates with you. The other thing I noticed with this card is actually very beautiful. So the background is so beautiful. This emerald forest, the light is streaming through. It's kind of catching the blonde highlights in her hair. There's a lot of beauty in this card as well. And the rays of light coming through to me are kind of like the start of a new day. The sun has come up. Yes, something has ended and it's sad, but there is also the light on the horizon. Reminds me a little bit of Ten of Swords is kind of like this as well. The sun is just about to rise. Okay, let's look at the last card. Eight of Cups. Okay, so we have a really interesting week. If I remember correctly, last week was characteristically like very unstable and kind of chaotic. And this week doesn't feel as chaotic, but there is kind of a sadness here. Like, she's grieving. She looks like she's grieving. She looks like she's been crying. So Eight of Cups, she's packing things up. Again, we have some knocked over cups, except these cups are empty. And she's packing up the moving van. So she's moving on. So there is some progression with this week. By the end of the week, you're ready to move forward. And it may feel this week like you're having to leave something behind. You're having to like let go of something. And I feel like there's an emotional basis to this. So it may not be letting go of something in the physical sense. It might be letting go emotionally. So I think sometimes we get emotionally invested in something being a certain way. And when it turns out things aren't that way, we kind of have to reconcile with our own feelings and let some of those feelings go. And it's a weird experience when you are really emotionally invested in something and then that something just doesn't pan out, and you kind of have to recalibrate and pick up the pieces, put yourself back together again and move on. So definitely, there's definitely a moving on energy with this week, particularly with the Eight of Cups. It's a letting go, a moving on, but it's important to do this grieving if that resonates for you. So don't just try to hurry up and move on and move forward in a really quick way. You need to kind of take your time with it. How does this all connect to the King of Cups though? That's what I find interesting. So I do feel like King of Cups reversed kind of feels like emotional dysregulation. So feeling dysregulated emotionally, kind of churned up. Your feelings are churned up. You're wanting a sense of, again, like groundedness and stability, but feeling like you're not sure how to do that. But it feels like things kind of right themselves by the end of the week in a weird way. It's like all that emotional dysregulation means you need to acknowledge some truths. You need to grieve some things before you can truly let go and move forward. Okay, let's look at these cards again and see if there's anything else to mention here. I kind of want to put a positive spin on these cards. I feel like I haven't done that yet. I mean, the Eight of Cups looks like a sad card, but the Eight of Cups is kind of, I'm happy to see the Eight of Cups here because it is a card of moving forward, finally letting something go. You're ready to move forward. I often call the Eight of Cups the card of the seeker. So it shows that you're seeking something and you haven't yet found it this week, but you will find it. Maybe not next week, or maybe it will be the week after, but there's something you're looking for. You haven't yet found it, but you're getting clearer and clearer and clearer about what it is that you're looking for. Because it's a frustrating experience when you're seeking something, but you're not really sure what you're seeking. You're just like, I know I'm looking for something, but I don't know really what it is. And so with this Eight of Cups, I get the sense that this week you will get closer to figuring out what it is that you're ultimately looking for. So that's nice. That's some positive news for sure. So this is a week to take care of yourself, especially if you're feeling emotionally dysregulated, or if you're grieving something, or if you're coming to terms with letting go of something and moving on. This is a time to really take care of yourself. How can you make your day-to-day life a little bit easier this week? What can you do for yourself? It might mean dropping a couple things in your calendar, if that's doable. It might mean having, a quiet night in, or if you're more extroverted, the opposite of that, getting out and letting your hair down for a night or two. So just asking yourself, how can I make things easier on myself? How can I be my own King of Cups? How can I be my own support system this week so that I can move through this week with grace, with feeling, and come out the other side clear on what it is that I'm looking for. Okay, so I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope you found this reading helpful. Hope it resonates. Feel free to share your own interpretation of the cards in the comment section. You're always welcome to do this, and I always enjoy reading other people's takes on the cards. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Kate. I'm also known as the Daily Tarot Girl, and I hope you have a good week.